Axel and Santiago, I'd love to talk about recreating the trial scenes. And you were able to shoot in the Palace of Justice where the trial took place. That must have felt surreal. How did you secure that location, Axel?
Well, I mean, the team, I mean, both, the art director, Micaela, and the location manager, and everybody was very much into the movie. The movie, it's basically an act of love, as you can see. And nobody had ever made a movie about this. This is the first time ever, not even a...
Had anyone ever tried to make this movie before?
We don't know. I mean, but
It's amazing.
I mean, if somebody tried, it didn't happen, you know? So we were quite surprised when finally they allowed us to shoot there. But for Santiago, as you said this 1,000 times before, but it changed a lot shooting the trial on the real place where it happened.
Yeah, for me it was super important to shoot in the real courtroom. I knew it was going to be difficult, but luckily the producers did a magnificent job on convincing the right people to let us shoot. We didn't suspend any trial or anything. We shoot during the holidays and on the ¿cómo se dice? Contrahorario.
In odd hours.
In odd hours, so yeah. But for me it was super important because well, the part of the trial when the public hearings start and we start to listen to the witnesses, it's the heart of the film, the harmed heart of the film. So I knew I wanted to lose a little bit of the fiction at that part. So there was one thing that was interesting, that the original taping of the trial, the broadcasting of the trial, was done from the back, from the necks of the witnesses, because it was dangerous for them.
It was in order to protect the witnesses.
Right.
Yeah. So I understood that I need to show, now that the time has passed, I could shoot I needed to shoot the faces and try to imagine what those persons may have feel about talking for the first time about what they lived in the concentration camps. But I wanted to lose fiction, so the words are exactly the same words than the people who gave testimony did. And I also, it was important to use the original footage of the trial.
I was going to ask about that. Did you interweave footage with your own footage?
Yeah,
okay.
It's something we designed with the DOP, with Javier Juliá, that he had a very clever idea. We were using like a Humaric camera to make that it was the same camera that was used in the 85 to make like a fake footage with our actors. And then we could introduce that footage in the viewfinders of the camera that was as a prop. And then through that viewfinder, we could get into the actual archive and go back without hiding this idea, or making less notoria, ¿cómo sería?
Noticeable.
Noticeable. Yeah. Noticeable. It's a difficult word to say for a Spanish-speaking person. But yeah, it was important, and also it was important for me in the ending of the final indictment, but we will talk about that if I assume, so I can say it afterwards.
Sure. No, of course, no, and feel free. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I will say it afterwards.
And what was the most difficult aspect of recreating 1985? Because I've read that you said it would be just as difficult as to do 1925, that there really wouldn't be that much difference in trying to recreate this time, which is now almost 40 years ago.
I think I exaggerated a little bit, but
that's okay. It's more fun.
Because there's a lot more cars from the 80s than probably from the 20s to find, but there's not many cars in good shape from the 80s in Buenos Aires. Yeah. So we needed to to look everywhere. And to add a lot of CGI, well, not a lot, but some CGI in the city and duplicating the cars and all that stuff that we do. But it was a lot more difficult than what I expected. But with Micaela Sayeg, who is the production designer, and with Monica Tochi, who is the costume designer, we wanted make a subtle reconstruction of the 80s. We understood that the topic of the film was so important that we needed nothing to be over the top. Or
I appreciated
distracting.
that there wasn't any distracting music and clothing. The 80s was a little kind of weird style at times.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah, you could, when you, yeah, okay, they're a little bit quiche in the 80s, but we
It's
wanted.
really easy to go over the top and have, pat shoulders and stuff like that. It's like,
I mean, I know it was like that here. I assume you were more stylish in the 80s than we were.
well,
I don't think so. But yeah, we try to find some key elements like the Walkmans and the cassettes and the radios, the old telephones, the old time people smoking.
Yes, I noticed a lot of smoking.
Yeah. But I think that those elements were already enough time traveling, so that we didn't need to point everything all the time. Let's say.
No, there was a lot of restraint, which I appreciated. And Ricardo, obviously, you never had a chance to meet with Stratzera and talk to him about this.
They went to the same school.
But did you know him? Did you know Stratzera?
Nunca conociste Trasera.
No, never.
Okay, you didn't know him. Okay.
Never.
If you had the chance to speak to him, what is one question you would ask?
I'm really curious about that answer.
good one.
I don't know, really. Creo que sería pedir demasiado que tuviera respuestas. Sé de él los aspectos que son para mí suficientes. Su honestidad, su integridad, su humildad también. Le preguntaría, no sé, la vida de Stracera estuvo cargada de cosas muy duras, muy pesadas y de mucho dolor también. No sé si me atrevería a preguntarle algo.
It would be a lot to ask. It would be really hard for me to find one question to ask him. I know about his humility. I know about his honesty. I know about his truthfulness. But to find one single question, it would be a lot to ask.
Understood. And in closing, America is dealing with its own problems in terms of the fragility of our democracy. And a lot of us are very afraid, extremely afraid. And we saw this play out on television this week, as recently as this week, which still processing that. What do you hope each of us takes away from this film, no matter where we live? I mean, each of us has a responsibility in the same way that Stracera employed his own power and passion. What do you want each of us to take away from this film?
¿Qué es lo que te gustaría que la gente se lleve al mirar esta película? Teniendo en cuenta cómo están los momentos, el momento presente con respecto a la política, especialmente en Estados Unidos, ¿qué es lo que te gustaría que el público se lleve como mensaje o como enseñanza al ver esta película?
Con respecto al pasado no podemos hacer nada. En el presente sí, creo que tenemos mucho para hacer, pero mi enfoque está especialmente destinado al futuro. Creo que la máxima pretensión a la que podría aspirar es a que las generaciones nuevas, jóvenes, la sangre nueva, recupere el verdadero sentido de términos como el valor, coraje, valentía, integridad, ética, moral, solidaridad. Si esta película pudiera servir mínimamente para reforzar esos términos, yo me sentiría realmente muy feliz.
There's nothing we can really do about the past. We can focus on the present, and of course, my goal is to think about the future. And if I have to think about something that I would really like to transmit with this film, is to really touch the hearts of the younger generations and the young blood, and show them and teach them that they can still believe in honesty, integrity, truthfulness, courageousness, and all of those values that are so important. And that would be my goal, is to touch the hearts and the minds of all the younger generations.
Thank you. Yes, agreed. And Axel and Santiago, any closing thoughts or hopes for the audience, American audiences, but again, the global audience?
Well, one of the reasons I worked on this film from the beginning was I have two daughter and a son. They're over there. My son is 14 years old. My daughter is 10. And when we were working on this, I was thinking about exactly what Ricardo said about the future. But also, I think we have to be really aware of the dangers that democracy is facing everywhere, not only in America, everywhere. We have to be really, we have to have strong takes on accountability. Nobody should be above the law anywhere, not even in this country. And that's my take.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I think my partners said already enough, so thank you.
Thank you all for being here, and really thank you for making
Thank you
this
very much.
film. Thank you for telling this story.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
for
you all
coming.
for-
Have a great
Thank
night.
you.
Appreciate it.